I had Tampa Bay in 6 again, but
okay.
I don't really.
And
It's tough.
I'm a Leafs fan. I said Tampa Bay in 6. I don't know. I just think Toronto's going to be I think going to be a little more tired than Tampa.
Well, this series is going to take a toll on them for sure.
Well, it's taking a toll, but I mean, say they go and it turns into a scoring fest. I think just Tampa's got, like you said, a lot more scoring power. Even Toronto's got a lot of scoring power, but I mean, Tampa's just. I love to say Toronto. I mean, I hope it's Toronto, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think I don't know if they can adapt the way they did and get past Boston, obviously in Game 7. Then I just think that they'll be hungry, they'll be confident, and they'll come out of that and they'll take it to Tampa.
And it could come down to be honest, Victor Hedman. Where Toronto does not have a stud defenseman.
Toronto doesn't have that.
As like a Victor Hedman on their team. Where Tampa does. I mean, I'd say goaltending's fairly close.
Yeah.
And I'd say they're both really good goalies in my mind. Forwards, a lot of scoring. But that stud defenseman might be the only thing Toronto's missing. But, like you said, they adapt and play.
Yeah,
they've been playing good.
They have to do, I guess they have to fill that role by committee, right?
Yeah.
You need somebody to step up every game or whatever and make that big pass or that big block or whatever. Their defense has to be good as a group. If you're good as a group, then I think you can cover that lack
and like
of
I said, I'd love to pick. You mean Toronto? And I hope it is. Hope it is Toronto tomorrow night for one, and then move on. But either way, it's a win this season, so
yeah,
I'll be happy either way. But
also, if they, deploy the same method that they're doing against the Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand line of putting the Pekanic line, and taking away
Kucherov and
their top line scoring, and then they could go shot for shot with the Matthews line and guys like Kadri, and then they can beat them that way for sure. But I think it'll come down to goaltending again because they both showed that they're both all-star goaltenders in the playoffs so far.
But so Pittsburgh and Washington again.
Yep. Alex Ovechkin says he's happy. He's pumped.
Is it going to be a different outcome, you think, this year? Is same old Pittsburgh beats Washington? What do you guys think?
I think different circumstances this year. I think Capitals were the last couple of years more the favorites to win the series. Now I think it's kind of turned, and Pittsburgh is more so the favorite.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's expecting Pittsburgh to win, whereas...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they played however many consecutive playoff rounds, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think Washington seems a little different this year compared to other years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Pittsburgh's still Pittsburgh. I mean...
Yeah, they haven't really changed, right?
No. I mean, you got Gensel, who's over a point a game in the playoffs. You got Crosby, who's making a case for his third Conn Smythe. Without Malkin, they were able to take it to the Flyers in their last game there. And, I mean, Murray's been unreal.
Yeah.
So...
I don't know. I'd like to say Washington, but I don't think they can take out Pittsburgh. It'll be another long series. It'll be 6 or 7 games, but it'll be it'll be a challenge. But I don't see Washington beating Pittsburgh.
I don't know. I went with my gut. I had that feeling in the bottom of my stomach, but I went Washington 7. I think it'll come, like you said, down to the final game, and I mean the way they took it to Columbus the last.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're down 2-0 in the series, and they won 4 straight.
They did battle back, right?
Yeah.
They weren't really the favorite this year. They were down 2-0, and they did battle back. That Pittsburgh team hasn't changed from the last couple of years, really, and they're just so good, right?
Well, they've gotten better. I mean, they lost Benino, but they replaced him with Brassard, who, in my opinion, is a better scoring. Yeah, it's an upgrade for sure.
Offensively, for sure. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh in 6, but I mean, I don't know. I just can't see. I agree with Bryce. Like I can't see Washington pulling it out.
Yeah.
Seems like the same old
it's-
story. But
It's easy to look back to and just at past series and watch Pittsburgh beat them over and over and over again and use that. But
Yeah.
well, and that could be what we're thinking,
Yes.
right? But I will say it's a changed Washington team if they beat Pittsburgh this year.
Yeah. And if they beat Pittsburgh, I mean, they can make a case for winning the whole thing. It's pretty.
I
To
don't.
unseat the king though.
I don't think they beat the team in the West. Sorry, I just
think
don't see it. I think it's Pittsburgh. Well, and this is my opinion. It's Pittsburgh or a team in the West. I don't think anybody in the East will beat the team in the West. Pittsburgh might be the only one.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. That's just me.
I mean, yeah. You look at the teams. I mean, Pittsburgh or Boston. And it's no offense to Tampa Bay or Toronto, but it's Pittsburgh or Boston.
Well, if Boston can get past, like I said, the first round, they might go farther than you think. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might learn from the first round.
Exactly.
Who knows, though? But
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of excited for that series just to see how, obviously, Ovi and Crosby at it again.
I mean, you can't gloss over Couturier.
Yeah,
I mean, to get injured in practice, running into Radko Gudas,
Gudas up to his old tricks.
tearing his MCL in his one knee, and still going out putting the game winner in the next game, and then in Game 6 getting a hat trick and 5 points, all while having a tear in his ligament in his knee. Like, I mean, that's playoff hockey for you.
And I was just gonna say that's why I love playoff hockey.
Yeah.
What the guys will do to their bodies just to try to win it all. I respect that.
Yep.
But even Tarasenko had, I believe it was a shoulder injury,
Yeah.
and he
And
kind of
was
kept it
trying-
under wraps.
just so he could try to make the
try
playoffs.
to help his team get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
That's amazing what those guys will put themselves through.
and that's obviously just the ones we
No.
know.
Well, it makes you think,
I mean,
what's wrong with Leo Komarov? Yeah, to keep him on the shelf, right? But
I think it's the same injury that hurt him at the end of the year. Knee injury, I believe.
do you think it's because Leo Komarov's a bottom guy compared to a top guy?
Let's be honest. He might actually be ready to go already,
Maybe.
and we're winning. You're not going to put him in
No.
That's
when
true.
And
you're-
the way Janssen has played, it
Speed,
makes
so.
him expendable in a way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to the West, I guess. Vegas Golden Knights and San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, the battle of the undefeated teams.
And these two teams are rested. They've been rested for quite a while now.
Yep.
So
They're playing Thursday.
Thursday. So I mean, they've been rested for that'd be over a week.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get they figure this could be a pretty battle of a series. If somebody sweeps the other one, I'll just scratch my head. I'll be
I don't see
Yeah.
that. I don't see that happening, but
because I'm not gonna lie, I picked Anaheim to beat San Jose, and somehow
San Jose
Anaheim
walked,
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Like, what? San Jose's not like that in the playoffs. What?
Yeah, but on the other side, the Knights.
I picked the Kings to beat.
I thought the Kings would beat them too.
just because it's the Kings. They're built for the
for it,
playoffs. Yeah, not the season. They're built for the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, Vegas was outworked them and outscored them.
It's not even like they said. It's not Jonathan Quick's fault.
Nope.
He's the reason why they even were in any of those games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Quick can't score the goals.
No.
So
That was the biggest problem, right? And Fleury played amazing. Nothing to
Yeah.
take away from him.
No.
But yeah, LA just couldn't find a way to get
I
any
mean,
pucks in the net.
you lose 1-0 twice, and 2-1, and 3-2. I think was the other one. So I mean, you only scored a handful of goals. So I mean, not that Vegas scored a lot of goals either.
No,
There's clearly a goalie battle to
Yeah.
the most part, but
it was tight games. Yeah, I know one of them went to double overtime.
Yep.
So
yeah, I don't know. I think I mean I picked Vegas in 7. I think Vegas has better goaltending, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think Fleury's proved to me in the playoffs better than Jones. I've seen Jones let some pretty soft goals in, so
Yeah.
not so much this year, but remembering from last year, he let some pretty soft goals against Oilers. 5 holes. So.
I don't know. I think he might have changed the.
Oh, well, hopefully. Cause,
him and Fleury have the best save percentages.
okay, yeah.
Postseason. So.
Well, that makes sense. The two teams that swept, yeah. But that's... Yeah, I said Vegas 7, so...
I got Vegas in 6, and it goes back to the old adage, fourth line in goaltending wins the Stanley Cup. I think that Vegas has got better in both.
Vegas, yeah. And they all work hard.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you put on the ice. They all work hard.
Yeah, I think Vegas in 5. Their team game is just way too good. Has been since the start of the year.
Yeah.
All year, we've been really counting them out. Oh, they got to start losing eventually. They come into the playoffs. They sweep LA.
Yeah.
And I just think if they can continue to play that strong team game and have the strong special teams that they've had, they'll beat San Jose in 5.
And what really shocks me is that the guy they traded a first, a second, and a third round draft pick for is sitting on the bench.
Tatar.
Thomas Tatar, like
Maybe he doesn't gel with the team.
Yep.
They have a team bonding.
They have a
you
really
can tell.
team
And if
mentality.
he's kind of a cancer in the room, say, for example.
yeah, even if he doesn't fit. They had that Russian guy that slipped in my mind here.
Yes.
Shipashov?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shipachyov.
Shayov or something.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
went back home.
Yeah, because he didn't.
He didn't gel.
No. It's crazy.
I got the Sharks making some history,
Oh!
giving the Knights their first Game 7 loss.
The first loss to the playoffs.
I guess so.
Yeah. The first everything. Everything's first.
Yeah.
I just think the Sharks' offense is pretty hot with Kane obviously tearing it up, and they got the best D-man, Brent Burns, and probably the best forward with Joe Pavelski. So.
Yeah, and Jumbo's not even playing.
No.
He probably won't even play the whole playoff by the sounds of it, maybe.
Yeah.
But
That's true, yeah. So I keep forgetting Evander Kane.
But goaltending, right?
Yeah, goaltending is huge.
Yeah.
But Scott made a good point with Brent Burns. Once again, stud defenseman where Vegas doesn't have stud defenseman.
Nope.
I'm not saying that
I guess
will win, but...
Kings had Doughty, though.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah. But in Doughty's defense, he was out for one of the 4 games.
Yeah.
He was not himself.
No.
He was too busy acting like a child, in my opinion,
Yeah.
than worrying about playing hockey. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
I think that suspension got in his head a little bit or something. I don't know.
Last series here. Winnipeg Jets and Nashville Predators.
Mm-hmm.
I said Preds in 7.
No, and what's your reasoning?
Cal, no. What's your reason? I can't even say really better goaltending because Buck's been good too. They're really close. Like that's why I said 7. Like
Yeah.
I just think Nashville's going back to the finals probably.
Yeah.
I think they'll be there again. Yeah, it might be Nashville, Pittsburgh. I've said this since the beginning of this playoffs, but
Winnipeg wanted Nashville. They were chanting it from the seats, and
Yeah.
I'm not a Jets fan, so that doesn't really.
Hey, neither am I. But I think the Jets are going to take the series in 6.
I agree. Yeah.
That high-powered
you guys
offense,
said that, yeah.
high-powered offense, the way Hellebuck's played.
That's true. I would say.
I mean, it's going to be a battle because you look at Nashville's defense against Winnipeg's offense, and it's going to be which one can stop the other, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
like I would think Nashville's better defense, but like you said, if you think offense, like I would have to agree the Jets would be.
If you put head to head, their best forwards versus best forwards, you got Blake Wheeler and Scheifele and Lonnie. None of those guys are small.
No.
Compared to Philip Forsberg and Arvidsson and Hartman, they're not all. They're
Turris
and
yeah.
Turris are
they're
not
big.
No.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
got a guy like Big Buff on the back end.
Yeah.
Figured to throw some
He
hits.
throws some hits at Forsberg, and that might make him think about going in the corner a little bit too.
Yeah,
right?
trying to dance around people and you get steamrolled. That was one advantage the Preds had over the Avalanche, right? They had the ability to go around their dekes. They had small guys like Barry.
Yeah,
And didn't quite have a big
Yeah.
buff. Or, they have Josh Morrissey, too,
yeah.
who's been a pretty good
And
defenseman.
yeah,
Trouba.